So here it is, guys, the one we've all been waiting for. Lisa's just driven off on the Sinnis. Again, I said earlier, it doesn't benefit me to do what I just did at all. I'm way out of pocket, but it's not about that. But I think at this glance, people might think, what's Charlie been going on about? You know, what's the big issue? This bike looks quite nice. It's a lovely blue. I haven't properly gone over this bike, guys, because it's not light again. But let's look at what I can see at the moment. So that there's plenty dents in this metal, and then these bodies are metal. So there's plenty dents. You can see this indicator's missing. Not the end of the world, but somehow it passed an MOT. And this lens is missing. This has been hand painted. And it's not a great job. Now, anyone who knows me knows I'm not a good painter, but I can do better than that. This mudguard has been just satin black, but it looks like they let it rain on it, so it went bad quite quickly. You can see distortion in the metal where they didn't put filler down and stuff like that. The paint again looks great, but there's runs and drips and problems. I don't know if you can see that. Apologies. Let me try and get you a better angle. Basically, there's kind of a hole there. It's not a huge issue. We've got drips here. I don't know anything else. I haven't even started this thing, but you did ride it here. The seat's nice. The 125 clocks are nice, and they are attached to the 125 engine. However, this is a 50cc registered bike, so it is illegal. There's no easy way to transfer this over to a... There's the number plate, guys. If you can do better research than I can, then let me know what's going on with this bike. Lots of these bikes get stolen and they swap the engines out, so I don't trust this engine, even though it does start and run and ride. And that's kind of it, really. Let's have a look under the seat, make sure Lisa didn't leave anything. Yeah, okay. Basic. And let's see if the... How do you open this thing? You just push the key in? How do you pop this boot thing? No idea. Where does the fuel go? Oh, it's in the back, innit? Does it have a steering lock? Oh my god, it doesn't appear to. It's a hunk of crap. I'll give you guys a good view tomorrow in the daytime. Oh, actually, while we're here, let's fire it up. Let's have a listen. Someone already said that they'll buy this bike, but I can't sell this to anyone because it's illegal and sounds like crap. Cool. Made it. It's just everywhere you look on the bike there's problems. I wonder what the lighting's like. Why is the lighting not on? Oh, right. Main light, let's go high beam. Okay, so we got high beams. Check out the indicators. Oh, that was weird. Flash fast and flash slow, but again, no lens. That's an easy fix. Let's try the other side. No issue there. Rear light is on. Let's check out the brake lights. Back one, good. Front one, good. Number plate light is on. What else? Horn. It's got a horn. So it does the basics, guys. It does the basics. I'm not riding this bike today. It's not safe. I'm gonna have to have a good look at it tomorrow and see how it goes. So this is the famous Vespa. Just to fill you in on what happened, Lisa bought this bike for £750. She was told it was navy blue and professionally painted. She was told that this bike is ultra low emissions free, which it is not. And she was driving it in and out of the city and got fines. and she took it to a local mechanic somewhere in London. She won't tell me who it is, and they charged her £300 for an oil change. I really do want to know who they are, somewhere in South London, so I'll keep digging. So she paid £1,050 for this bike, and didn't realise it was a 125 until I told her it was a 125. The actual mileage of the original engine is not 15,000, it is closer to 50,000. However, I reckon these clocks are linked to this engine. This is probably a 15,000 mile 125cc engine in a 50cc frame. That's if any of this bike is legit, guys. At this stage, I have to check the VIN number, and then I have to check the engine number, and I don't even know. I don't think I can check the engine number alone to see if it's nicked. I'm hoping the VIN number matches the logbook at least. And I'm currently watching an engine on eBay for 168 quid, but it looks a bit past it. So I'm not going to be too quick to buy that. I'm going to look at this bike tomorrow, make sure all the numbers match up. For now, it starts and it appears to brake. Apart from that, it's all a bit rough. So that is today's video. Thanks for watching. Thank you to everyone who subscribes and who shares and who chats. And I'll do something with this if the frame matches the logbook. It may not, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll fill you guys in a bit more tomorrow. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't really feel the need to introduce myself anymore. I feel silly, but this is the Motorcycle Rescuer channel, and I'm Charlie. I'm doing lots of chatting with people at the moment, which is nice. The odd person is kind of pushing there. Like, I blocked someone this morning called Paddy because I checked his last few messages to me and they were all negative. One was, this guy doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. One was, I need to listen to the comments more, which is, you know, fair enough. One was something that he felt I did wrong on an old bike, and then one before that he was begging me for something for free. So I blocked him this morning. I don't feel the need for negativity on my channel. I'm always open to constructive criticism. I'll always listen, but my channel will never be negative. It will always be a positive channel for everyone, and that's really important. You're looking at my new Vespa ET2, I believe they're called, 50cc with a 125 engine in it. Now, at first glance this morning, it was a bit of a love-hate thing for me. I quite like the contrast between the blue and the black. There's something quite cool about that. It's got a nice little neatness to it. But at kind of a closer view, it's worse than I thought. Now, I saw this bike about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was pitch black. And then I saw the bike again last night, and it was pitch black. And this is the first time me and you are seeing it properly in the daylight, and it's not, it's not great. For my reference, because all of these covers are different sides, I need a front right and a rear left. That's just for me to remember. Oh God, what the hell? That's just for me to remember. Front right, rear left, and oh God, the more I look at it, I'm starting to feel queasy. Oh man. Yeah, this is basically the 50cc with a 125 engine in it. Now the engine runs well, I think just from starting it and kind of wheeling it into the garage yesterday. The very clean garage, I'll have you know, guys. So let's have a look. Let's make me feel even worse and have a close look. We've got an issue here. This is quite common on these bikes. It's quite common in this area. What you can buy for this area is a big sticker. That would help. I don't know if it would sit as flat as I'd like. I'd need to do a lot of sanding in this area to get that to sit as flat as I'd like. Otherwise the sticker would just look rubbish. I believe these are metal panels. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. we got kind of just black bits here that should be easily touched up. That's no issue there. The exhaust looks a bit worse for where it probably needs a coat of paint, but it's not, you know, it's working. Down here we got some scuffs that you have again. I think these are metal. I could be wrong, but it's quite hard. What the guy who painted this last, obviously someone painted it, probably by hand. They should have filled all this out. It would have looked much better. And then you got this crap here, and then you got dents and dings, and things are very hard. And then you've got these creasing here. Again, just a smudge of filler would have really helped before you put on this paint. I was considering cutting back this paint today to get it a bit shinier, but it's not worth it. We got all this stuff here. Again, a bit of filler would have just really sorted that out. This can be close to back to normal if someone had just used a bit of filler on there before their paint. I'm not a fan of the guy who built this bike, so if you're out there and watching, really you should be ashamed of yourself, because you sold this bike to a young lady for 750 quid, and you didn't tell her it had a 125 engine, I believe, and you didn't tell her it wasn't ultra low emissions free, and you sold her a bike ultimately that she will, once the police pull her over, they'll take it off her, which is a shame. So I've given her one of my bikes and I've taken this bike on. If you are watching, message me. Maybe we can sort something out and deal with this better, but at the moment I'm stuck with your piece of crap. Front mudguard, hands painted again terribly. I'm hoping that's just dirt, but I think it's bad paint. Where did we get to? The handlebar paint is worse than the rest. I don't know why. That should be the easiest part to do. You pop it off, you take your time. Again, I think it had water and stuff there. I might try a bit of compound just to neaten it up. This lever's just about legal. If that was any worse, it wouldn't be. My MOT guys may or may not pass that. They should do. And then this, I just noticed this morning. This is terrible. Oh, is this metal or not? I cannot work out. That is a huge chunk of filler, guys. Oh, it's ridiculous. Look at that. Someone's this is filler, I believe. Look. Again, they just did such a bad job. If they were going to fill it like this and do this and then do the paint, why didn't they do it properly? It's really annoying. I may have to kind of crack all this filler off and see what I can do. I'm blatantly digging a hole for myself. This is probably worth more in parts at the moment. This seat's in nice, great condition. This bike should be a knacker's yard bike, and I tell you why. Because he can do the bodywork on these. People love these old Vespas. Okay, this is a what reg is this? T-reg. This is probably 22 years old, so it is classed as a classic now. This would respond so well to one of Nat's paint jobs. So Nat, if you're watching, there is the opportunity there for you, mate. Maybe I can trade it in part exit for your SV when it's ready. I don't know what I'm going to do here, guys. Let me, I've got the little GoPro that John gave me. I might take this for a spin. It is still tax insured and MOT'd. So, quick run will just show us that the engine is okay. I've set my, the GoPro up on my helmet here using this thing. So, honestly, guys, I don't know anything about all these setups. I'm just going to try my best, set it up on my head and see if I can work out how to edit it all and make it work. So bear with me, I'll chuck it on, I'll try and switch it on, and we'll see if we can go for a bit of a test run just to give us an idea of how this runs. Right guys, so you can hear Nat's back in the background. Oh no, wait a minute, it's RabJabs125. I failed for a little while to show you guys a bit more work rather than just going pow, look, it's done like magic. So I've got some filler down here on the floor. This is not going to be easy. It's such a weird area to work with. I just need to get it a touch better. Right. Amazon, no big deal, just letting you know. You alright? Vespa, is that Vespa I was saying about now? Oh, it's got the 125 engine, 50cc frame. It's, what I sold? No, I think it's lost. Maybe that, what's his name? Oh god. I haven't, I'll give you. Jay John, your son gave it to me. I'm kind of doing what I told the guy off doing, I'm putting it on so thick. I just don't want to feel this hard, so. Yeah, no, I don't want to feel this deep. Actually, we'll see, I have no choice, let's come up here. Is that the colour? Nah, that's been hand paint. I'll sometimes have a bunch of like, putting this engine in so don't work, the horn doesn't properly work. Yeah. Sometimes have a job. You didn't go, I don't feel like the M69 swap this, these are, that's it, that's it. I've been here every Saturday, Sunday, mate. Oh, you know where I was? Yes, I was up with Amanda and Dawn. That little 125 bike. That little 125 bike, that's the one. Well, the 2-stroke, that's 4-stroke. There's not many 2-strokes around anymore, right? You can get a 2-stroke rabbit, mate. Yeah, but they're so easy to rebuild up there. They're simple pieces, no fouls. You know, no fouls on top, mate. You just swap the piston normally, maybe just the wheels. Look at that, it's like rubbing porridge. On your Vespa. I'm angry at myself right now. It'll be fine, I'll have to... What's happened to the bottom back? Yeah, perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. It's up for £1,100. No one's... Someone offered me a grand, 2 separate people offered me a grand. I'm going to take it and I'm not. I don't know. Maybe something. Yeah, I think I'm going to insurance on it. How much insurance do you get? Oh, no, I've got insurance on the XJ550. Where's that? I fixed that the other day, the oil gallery bolt snapped. Where's that? It's fine, it's done, I'm just had to source a new one. This is going to be a let cure, sand it down later, try and get it smooth on the edges guys a bit so you don't need to do hard work. There you go. And then it's going to be a case of coming back to it. Oh, we got the answer. People bad projects sometimes. What's the engine? Yeah, engine's great. Just the panels, engine's fine, no problems. Just what? What's wrong with the panels? No, it's a 50cc bike with a 125 engine. But the frame has it? Yeah, you know what? The frames, as far as I'm aware, unless I'm wrong, the frames are the same. You can put 125 in this bike, safely. Brakes are the same, everything's the same. Exactly, I mean, you know, there are some versions, yeah, you're right, there's some versions that aren't good. And people keep, insisting on doing it. But this is a safer version, it is a good version that I've seen. I've always stayed away, I've got to be honest, always stayed away with engine swaps. Because it's just too much hassle. Right, I'll let that dry a bit, leave it alone, it's going to be a fair amount of sanding. I'm not worried about paint guys because, you know, I think I'm going to stick on this area. I don't know how far across this stick comes though, I've got a feeling it's up here, which is a bit awkward, but not the end of the world. Let me check the other side, I've got a little bit to the left, I don't know if, I can't remember if, touching up me on that side. I don't think I'm going to put any on there, I don't think there's any point, maybe a tiny smidge in that area, just to make it smoother for if we go down the sticker route. So there you go guys, give it a couple of minutes, it's only meant to fill out the imperfections, isn't it? So give it a couple of minutes. And then smooth it off as much as you can with the side of the applicator, and then at some point you'll be coming back to, you'll be very lightly sanding it with probably your lightest sandpaper, probably wet and dry 1000 or 1200. Same on this side, you see I've just scraped as much off as I can, and then you'll be sanding it. That's a bit different, that area, that's going to need kind of sanding over and smoothing, and then continuing the area. I do think the sticker I'm looking at only comes to here, so I might have to use a little bit of blue over there, but that's not the end of the world at this stage. God, but yeah, I have become part of the problem now by adding thick filler hopefully they'll do a better job than they did, because it shouldn't peel off like that really in that huge thick chunk that we pulled off earlier. It looked like metal actually. Other than that, there's not much more I can do today, guys. I might pop off the front panel at the top. I might even start throwing some black on it. Might throw some black on this just to neaten it up. That looks silly as it is. And then I think I'm going to need your help on this one. Let me know what I should do. I want to just throw some pictures up, sell it as a butchered bike, and make sure a 16-year-old don't buy it. But let's see. I might not be able to bring myself to do that. I'm just looking at the
16-year-old will not buy it.
Cylinder capacity. What does that say?
You ride your Harley, John.
See, part of me wondered if this is a 125. It's got to be a 125, but it's not particularly fast, Rab. It's not like it's quite slow. Yeah.
Then maybe go with 50cc.
What's the difference in the 50cc engine?
50cc will go 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say this is doing much more than that. Let me pull it back out. Let's see if we can work up the speedo issue. Let's look at that first. Yeah, but I don't want to leave the Harley out in the rain. Right, guys, I didn't realise this is a normal wire. I thought this was a sensor. So me and Rabjab have turned this, and it doesn't turn up here on the dash. So there could be a split in that wire. That is definitely an option. Or it could not be plugged into the back properly here. So let's pop this off and see what we're working with up here. I think this cover should go black because we just can't get this much nicer, and you've got all these imperfections. I could try a very light coat of wet sanding, but I really don't think that would help. But for now, let's pop this cover off and see what's going on at the back of the Speedo. It would be nice to have a working Speedo to establish what's really going on with this bike and what speed it's doing. I'm not even that convinced it is a 125. If I'm being honest, I can't work it out. That is a 125 exhaust, I'm sure, but it looks big enough to be 125. But the 50s have the same exhaust. Even the two-strokes do, unless you upgrade it to a, one of them twisty ones. Right, let me pop this top cover off. No idea how it comes off. I'll give it my best shot. Knowing these guys, the way they work, it's probably just this mirror holding it on. Don't smash it, but yeah, I bet. Let's see. There's probably a screw underneath. Alright, I'll get the screws underneath. Alright, I'll pop that off, we'll have a look, we'll see what's going on.
This is bad paint job, man. You paint like that, man.
I'd love to know. I wonder if the guy watches. He should be ashamed. She asked him for her money back.
Well, wait.
She should have got her money back. If you buy something,
how much did she pay for this bike?
$750
For this bike?
for this bike, not knowing it was an ultra low emissions free, and not knowing that it had a 125 engine in.
Is that a real number plate? Legit number plate?
I think so. That's actually, you've just reminded me.
No way, yeah. That's a brand new bike.
You've just reminded me. That's the next check, Crab Jab. I need to check the VIN number. So that's a good.
No way, Charles. That looks like an old bike.
You know what we might find?
What?
We might find that we've got a 125 frame and engine and a 50cc number plate and logbook. Should we check the VIN?
Yeah.
I'm screwed if we do that. If we do that, it's spares or stolen, isn't it?
That's not
Right, two things. I'm going to pop that top cover off, and me and Rad are going to find the VIN number. Fingers crossed. Alright guys, the source of the problem might be that there's literally no connected wire. You might find that we pull this wire up and it isn't the right threads or something, but I can't find the wire at the moment. I think I need to take this cover off.
You see the spray, everything, look, Charlie.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
Look.
Yeah, it's the least of our worries, mate. Least of our worries. Let's make it safe. I can't see the end of that wire. That's a pain, so I'm going to try and pop it up, see if we can plug it in, but there'd be no reason why he didn't do that unless it's broke, so let's have a look. So guys, the clock works, we can show you that in a second, and the wire is working, we can show you that in a second, but the system isn't working, and I'm not sure why Let's pop it back off. It's quite a specific little wire. It's not the same as the normal ones that I work with. So if I, so Abjo, if you film up there, if I turn this, people will see that the speedo turns, yeah? Is it moving?
Yep.
Yeah, so the clock and the wire is fine. So the problem is either I'm not slotting it in properly, or just send the unit down there, the cog down there is no good. So I'm gonna have a little play, see what I can come up with.
Go.
Alright, so online guys, it says you can pull the gear and carrier out through here. Now I'm not having any luck with that. He just kind of pulled it back. My hook isn't very hooky. Oh. Right, I'm gonna have to try something else. So we got it, guys. We got that drive out. We had to put a screw in it and pull it out with the pliers. That's the only way to come out. And it's really dry. This grease is really dry and crap. But obviously this actual piece here is gone now. But we do know what the fix is now. It's one of these. Simple. Chuck it in. I'm going to clean that out with WD-40 in there. Chuck some new grease in with the new drive. And then I think you're back good to go. So I'll order that. Okay guys, so I've ordered that speedo gear or worm gear or whatever it is you call it. It was £6 or £7. I might throw the link up in a picture. I had to put a screw in the end like I showed you to pull it out. If the worm gear is stuck and needle nose pliers like that don't work, do put the screw quite far in and then use the pliers then to worm it out. That seemed to work best for me. That was the most grip. Other than that, I guess I'm gonna have to chuck the front wheel back on because it needs to. I need this bike to wheel around, don't I? I might play with the back here and just sand it all down a bit, get it a bit smoother. And then I'm still not sure. I have to be honest, guys. I'm still not sure where I really do go with this bike at the moment. The 50cc two-strokes aren't much faster than the aren't much slower than the 125 four-strokes. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. Alright guys, so front wheel's back on. I made a mistake. The caliper can't go on until the wheel needs to come off to put the caliper on, but to be fair, the caliper kind of needs to be on to set up the speedo next week, so that's all fine. I'm going to just do a little bit of light sanding here to see what we're working with. This feels better. I'll put some very light wet and dry on that, and then we'll start working on this one here, which isn't going to be so easy. Not because I've caked it, but because it's going to be quite hard to kind of work it to the same shape. But we need to just do, it needs to be better than it was basically. So I'm going to have a little play with that and we'll see where we go. Okay guys, that's kind of it for today. Next week I'll consider what I'm doing. This bit is really hard to sand, so you just need to take your time on it. Try and keep the shape. I need more build up here. Anyway, it needs to be thicker, but I need all this to kind of tie in first and then I'll bring that in. This is all very smooth, even though it looks terrible, that's very smooth to the touch. That won't show much. And again, ideally I might put a sticker on this area or just bloody paint the whole thing black at some point. Just a nice matte black. It's probably the best bet. This area, ideally I need an electric on this area just to make it quicker and easier because it's a right pain by hand. this, see where this old bit is here, this sticks up a bit too far no matter what. So you're kind of blending this in to match that, but that's too far anyway. So it's all a bit weird. But we'll do our best and we'll get this bike as good as we can. The best part of me wants to just build a great 50cc bike. The other part of me knows it's going to cost, you know, a few hundred more than the bike's worth. So it leaves us in a real awkward position. If someone does want the bike for parts or as a project or to use it or whatever, let me know. I know one person is already half interested. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, send me a comment, we'll have a chat. Share my channel every now and again, guys. It's always helpful. Some people are into it, some people not so much, but that's fine. And we'll see where we go with this one. I don't even know myself, and that's rare. Alright guys, me again. Even though I've been quietly and not so quietly protesting about getting an engine for this Vespa, I have just messaged someone on Gumtree who's had an engine up for like 7 weeks, and I'm going to have a look. It's about half an hour's drive. It's 100 quid, which is a bit more than I wanted to pay, but it's a 50cc engine. If I can get it for 100 quid, I can probably manage the finances. As I said, the charity is skint, but if I can make this bike work, then it's about saving the bike, really, more than anything else, as are all of my projects. So let me go and look at this engine. It's all a bit sketchy. It always is when you buy second-hand engines. You just don't know what's happening. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what you're buying. I've bought 125 engines with 50cc pistons in and could not work out. I did this once for weeks. Could not work out why it would not reach top speed. And then me and Jake took the head off and it had a 50cc head and piston on it, which was a right pain. But to be fair, we did rebuild it as a 125 and it went really well in the end. So I'm going to turn out. I probably won't film. Hopefully they won't mug me. And we might have a 50cc engine for the Vespa. Now this is a Piaggio SIP engine. I believe they are exactly the same. I believe it should be a bolt in and bolt out job and all the wires should cross over. So let's see. There it is, guys. You can't really see it too well, but that's a 50cc lump. I don't know if it's 2-stroke or 4-stroke, but we'll give it a shot, eh? Chuck it in, see if it works. No exhaust, so I'll have to source one. It's a 4-stroke, says down there, 4-stroke. Kind of perfect, really. Let's hope it all works. So, guys, Sunday evening. We know these engines quite well, me and Jake. We cut our teeth on these engines. This is the SIP 50cc engine, which is the same as the Vespa, except this is a 4-stroke, and I think the Vespa's only used 2s. The only problem that might pop up is if the actual subframe doesn't fit in. So you get top mounts and you get bottom mounts. Most of them cross over, but it has to be the right mount. So looking at this at the moment, this is a bottom mount, and I can't really tell yet. I'm gonna have to have a good look in the daytime, probably next Saturday, to see if the Vespa is a bottom mount. I believe it is. And then it's kind of silly bits and pieces, like I think, is that on a disc? No, that's not on a disc, so that will be a rear brake line. That's great, because this is a rear brake line here. Sorry, I lost the light there. That's a rear brake. And you can't really test an engine like this. Do press down the kicker, the pedal. This did kick over. It has got compression. Me and Jake used to hook these up to our own bike, so we left them side by side, pulled the spark plug across, and used to kick them over next to the bikes before we put them in. But that's much easier done when there's two of you. This actual whole engine swap is going to be quite difficult, but it has to be done because the bike has to be right. I just do need to double check that this 50cc 4-stroke will fit. Straight away the rear wheel is a fair amount bigger than the 125, but I think that's quite normal because of its gearing, isn't it? I think that's quite normal, and this rear tyre's had it. It's too low, but it's not difficult to get a rear tyre put on. A shame because that rear tyre is brand new, but then wheels don't cross over. So we're going in the right direction. Also, it doesn't have an exhaust, which is a bit of a pain because he did say it came with one and then he pulled it out without one. But it's a 4-stroke, so I believe this exhaust fits on like normal. It doesn't need much back pressure. I think it'll cross over. So as long as that engine bolts in and this exhaust slips on it and it starts and runs and rides, then we should be back to a 50cc. If that works and that's the case, then I'll be painting the whole body. I think I'll probably go black.